Hello, this is Cuckoo. I've moved. This is my new studio. I moved to the countryside this summer and I'll be staying here for 1 year. So dig it, dig it. Right now, I'm looking out into the ocean, which is very calming. I hope this year will be special. And yeah, let's kick it off with a little video just for you. Just for you. On my left here, I've got a small, tiny device that I've been really curious to try out. It's called the Great Conjunction. This is a small FM synthesis machine, and if you know me, you know that I really like FM synthesis, but this is not your everyday machine. This is a very explorative synthesizer where maybe the final destination is not as important as taking part in the actual journey. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to take you on a journey with this machine and see what we discover along the way. Let's go. Right, so here we go. This is the Great Conjunction, a small experimental music device with an old school FM chip inside of it. It's a Yamaha chip called YM2413. I really appreciate when there is like a very non-commercial developer that makes super interesting stuff and has no ambition of becoming the next Korg or the next Electron, just making something out of pure love and the love for exploring sound. Sometimes I feel like I need to remind myself of the joy of mysteriously treading grounds that you have no idea where it'll lead you. It's something that I kind of had as a child. Everything was new and exciting. And now when I've tried so many things, everything isn't new and exciting anymore. I know most technologies and it's building on top of everything else, but this is new and exciting for me. It's explorative, it's experimental. So let's experiment, shall we? And just stay in the here and now, take part in this journey. I'm not an expert, which makes it even more exciting. So first of all, we've got buttons, we've got knobs, and we've got knobs and buttons. We're powering it and out comes the sound. This one is a sort of menu button. This is the main volume. This is the play button. Those three buttons here is the three layers. Let's call it alpha, yen, and 3. Yeah? Nice little signs there. So, alpha, yen, and 3. 3 layers of FM synthesis that kind of override each other sometimes and or play independently. This is a very small little chip, so when one layer overrides another layer, a little chirps and interesting things will happen, a bit out of my control. So I'm going to press the play button, see just what's in here right now from the start. Yeah. How about this? Could turn up the volume. One basic thing is go to the menu and wiggle this knob to change the tempo. And also on this page here, you're reaching a sort of a mixer, and where each layer can have its own note value or speed. And I can change the speed and the volume of each layer. So let's do that with these. Volume, level 3. Speed. Let's mismatch the speed a little bit. Interesting. Sometimes these kind of clean chirps and sharp FM sounds, they can benefit from a little reverb. I'm going to turn on a little reverb sometimes on my audio interface and see what it sounds like. Just a little bit to make it go a little bit easier on the ears. So, in order to go into the different layers, the three layers, press here, layer alpha, layer yen, layer 3. If I press it again, I mute it. If I press this and then press it again, I mute that. I mute it. Now all of them are muted. No sound. Go into the menu again, I can see a little M there, highlighting that. Oh, it's actually muted. Let's unmute one of the tracks. Mute it. How about the middle track? This is weird. First track. Super weird. Yeah. It can get weird. It can get weird. Another thing that is cool to know from the beginning is that go into the menu again, press it again and again, and then you cycle through different menu options. We got random at startup, hold and play. And when you get at this startup and save or load and randomize, you wiggle this to go into the different save slots or to randomize all the parameters. Let's randomize all and see what happens. Hold play and then play it. Weird again. Again. I feel like a kid treading into this mysterious, finding some sort of game to an old computer, which you loaded up on tape with a little modem tape recorder, and you play it into the computer. It's like, and then you get like a bootleg game that some developer is abandoned, and you try to figure it out, but it doesn't even work properly, and you go into these worlds of glitchy rooms, and you have no idea if you can even clear the game or even play it. I feel like that when I hear stuff like this. Super mysterious. I love it. I say maybe I'll raise the volume a bit. Sometimes you hit something where you feel like, wow, this is cool. I want to save it. Then you go to the main menu, press it a couple of times and go to startup save, and then select a slot, 10 slots for saving. How about slot number 6? Press and hold. Now it's saved. I'm gonna load a couple of things that I've saved. I saved, I think, number 10 at some point. So I'm gonna go to load, 10, load it, and play. Let's load another one. Load number 9. How about this? I can just picture like a video game on a bootleg Sega Mega Drive where nothing is working, and you're like, whoa, hold on, what's even going on here? I love it. Okay, let's try another one that I saved. Super mysterious. Yeah, and this number 5 is something I saved just a moment ago. It's getting weird, and I think maybe what's saved here is probably like some sort of preset. Or maybe it was something I made, I can't remember. All right, so let's start exploring, shall we? So this is the landscape we're operating now. What I'm going to do now is just explore. I'm going to go in there and mute, and then go into alpha first, layer alpha, and just play. See what we have. Nothing. We can see this little line here. The line is indicating that there are no trigs on this layer right now. So all of these knobs can operate all of the values here. Basically, we can select a sound, we can select a sequence length, and how many entries on the sequence. If we're using Euclidean cell, Euclidean or randomized kind of trigs. We have some notes here that we can enter. octave, whether the octave is changing, I think, maybe. And here we can select a scale, which we want to adhere to when randomization starts happening. So it's hitting notes on the particular scale that we have selected. So let's start monotone and select an instrument here, select a length here, select a variation of trigs, and start playing. It's following the trigs, the instrument. And every entry here also has a randomization percentage, a chance of randomizing each of these parameters. Whenever I wiggle one of the parameters, you can see a little arrow there. Whatever the arrow is pointing at, if I then change this level here, that is the chance of this parameter hitting a randomized value at the next cycle. But in order for the instrument to actually change, it needs to be set to a random instrument. So P question mark and M question mark. P is percussive instrument and M is melodic instrument. 0 to 50 is percussive and 50 to 99 is melodic. So now it's set to pick a random percussive instrument. And we can see that sometimes it changes. And depending on how high this value is, it would happen more and more frequently. I can turn it up to maximum, which hits a sort of a delta signal. Maybe it's like a river going into a delta. It's how I kind of see it. It will every time hit a new path. Changing the bass note, the octave, it's changing an octave up and down every trig, or we're changing scale, hitting more. Right, how about this? Go to the main menu, set this to, instead of 8th, I set it to 16th. I like it. This. Let's head over to the menu again, to the layer. What else could we randomize? We could randomize the actual number of entries. So let's select this, randomize. Sometimes it will change this number now. Come on, change. Okay, I'm gonna increase it to maximum. There is a risk or a chance of it going totally silent too. I like it. I'm going to turn off layer 1 here, or layer A, alpha, and then turn on, unmute the other layer. See what we've got going on here. Dorian bebop. Okay, a bit too hectic. How about this? Maybe even less of the notes. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the other layer. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to randomize this parameter and let's see. So now there should be a chance of this changing. There we go. Yeah. So now it's fairly stable because we're not changing the notes that much. But if I change, for instance, the plus parameter there and randomize that a little bit. So now I guess it changed the plus down octave parameter sometimes. So now it's up. Now it's back to 0. I don't want to change the sound. I love it. I love this so much. You know, and this is a point where I'm like, wow, I really like this. So I head here to the startup and save. We hit, I think, number 6. Number 4, yeah, I save it here. Hold and play. So now I save this state here. But I just want to mention that sometimes you can hear, maybe sometimes, that the chord sound sometimes gets altered. I'm not entirely sure exactly what the limitations of the chip is, but sometimes it's changing the preset settings of one track, and that affects the other track as well, because they kind of share operators, I think, and memory. So sometimes we get unexpected sounds. I love it. All right, gonna mute those and head to layer 3. I'm thinking of like a long sound. Oh, bass. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, sure. That's pretty cool. Got a bass. Bass. Yeah, we got a bass now. Yeah. And then just sit here and marvel. Just hang out in this totally wonky world. I'm gonna save this again. Start up save. Cool. And here's the thing. I told you before that, you know, stay present and be in the exploring phase. And that's kind of more important than where you end up. Like now, I'm going to load up a preset again that I saved. Load number 5 and hold play. Now I loaded it. And back then I was kind of ecstatic. It's like, whoa, this is so good. And now, like, maybe it's not that great, but back then it was all about the journey, coming across, opening up new doors, and exploring. And in that phase, you understand the journey and appreciate the journey. And loading up a preset again doesn't really, it's not the same as opening up like a big project with ready-made music that you created. So I really appreciate, you know, being able to appreciate that journey again. And I think that's is what it's all about. Yeah. Let's create a whole new song. Nah, this is weird. It's pretty cool. Right. I approve of this. This is sick. This could have some reverb. And this is pretty stable. When you're in this explorative mindset, everything kind of makes sense, but it's like listening to a very contemporary musical performance. If you just plop in the middle of it and then go out and just hear like a snippet in the middle, maybe it doesn't make sense at all. It's like, oh, what is this weird music? But if you're there taking part in the whole journey, stay present and get absorbed in it, it all makes sense, and you kind of share the choices being made throughout the whole journey. And this is the whole vibe of this machine. How rich this state here, and I feel like this is something I could jam on top of, actually. You program this to be in a sort of organic state. It's kind of living its own life a little bit, and then bring out another synthesizer and just jam on top. Maybe we should do that. Should I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it now. Alright, so let's try it. We've got the great conjunction paired with this beautiful continuum fingerboard, which is a great, when it comes to experimenting, exploring, and expressing yourself. This is a great synthesizer, because you can really express and swell and take it back. And yeah. And maybe I'll sing a little bit. Maybe I'll raise it like so. Maybe I'll turn on some reverb on my voice. Let's do that. All right, I'm gonna turn this on. Just where we left it. All right. Yeah, just a little freestyling improvisation, one take. So it, yeah, without exploring in this particular way, I would never ever have arrived at something like this, because yeah, it's really special to have something that is kind of half generative and half something you set up, and just have that to play along with. It's not super static, which is very rewarding. Also, I really enjoy these old sounds that you can kind of tap into when it comes to old FM chips. It's something I care dearly about, that you might know if you've seen some of my videos before. Yeah, so that's the video for today. I hope you got some inspiration, and if you get inspired, if you value the work I do here on YouTube and on my music and my videos, tutorials and such, please consider throwing in some donation over at my Patreon. That helps dearly, especially in times like this when I've moved to a new place and starting to get low on what I've saved up and kind of starting up again. It helps tremendously. And thank you everyone for doing that. That is my lifeline, so thank you dearly for that. Yeah, that's it for today, and big shout out to Distropolis. Follow them on Instagram and check out their other offerings. They have similar sized devices that are in the same spirit, but maybe more in the 8-bit kind of world, where this could kind of be more in the 16-bit gaming world. And yeah, check them out. They're really nice people. Well, technically it's just one person, so nice person with a great mind. That's it for today. Hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, later on this year, if you're watching this in 2024, I'm going to Bristol. So follow me on my Instagram to check out the latest news. Also, check out my web store, truecuckoo.com, because I've just updated it and it looks nice, and I'm going to put in all of my touring dates and travel dates there. So if you want to meet up in person, check it out, follow me, and peace. See you soon.